teaching. So, Bhagavad-gita, as we discussed last time, is not meant for fools and rascals. It's meant for really sincere people who want to know the truth, who really want to hear God's words. Not God's word, but His words, who want to hear from the Lord extensively about the absolute truth. Therefore, Kṛṣṇa came to this world knowing our desire and spoke Bhagavad-gita so that in the future, people like ourselves who want to know the truth would be benefited. And so, what is the first thing that he said? When Arjuna got in trouble on the battlefield and he couldn't go through with his duty, Kṛṣṇa said, "How have these impurities come upon you?" So, because Kṛṣṇa is instructing us through Arjuna, we have to understand that we are currently impure. We have some impurity that keeps us from doing our duty. And what is that? Well, the next thing Kṛṣṇa says is, these impurities are not at all befitting a man who knows the progressive values of life. So we want to make spiritual advancement. We want to be progressive. We want to go to higher planets. That's our goal. But what is stopping us? Our own impurities. Sometimes we wonder, why is there suffering in material life? Why is there war? Why is there pestilence? Why is there all the different problems of material life? Why can't we have a peaceful life? Why can't we just be happy and progressive in our spiritual advancement? Why do we have all these obstacles? Well, then we have to look at where we're coming from and what we've done in the past that might create those obstacles for ourselves. The first thing we have to look at is that we are responsible for killing so many animals. Well, you might say, I never killed an animal in my life. What are you talking about? But have you ever eaten at a fast food place? Have you ever had a hamburger or a steak? Or even fish? Eggs? If you look into these industries and the way that they treat their animals, you can understand that to support these different commercial corporate slaughterhouses is a very irresponsible act. So everyone who pays them money to eat their products is indirectly involved in killing. In America, we kill millions and millions, hundreds of millions of animals every year, just for the satisfaction of our tongue, and for other products like shoes and so many things made with leather. Actually, so many things are made with animal products, you would be amazed if you start researching into it. These animal product additives go into makeup, they go into different food products that you would never suspect. Basically, in order not to participate in the killing industry, you have to give up all commercial processed food products and just eat very simply. Cook for yourself at home. Don't eat in restaurants. Don't eat packaged commercial processed food, because this is all done with assistance from the slaughterhouse industry. And because this slaughterhouse industry is killing innocent animals, they are creating so much karma that we as a whole, society as a whole, the nation as a whole, has to pay for it with war, pestilence, and different kinds of problems that appear to be intractable. Why? Because the cause of the problem is not directly what it seems to be. For example, in the Western countries, we have a big problem with heart disease. Now, if you listen to the doctors, they say, well, of course you have a problem with heart disease. You have such a sedentary lifestyle, and you eat this and you eat that, blah, blah, blah. Well, wait a minute. The real problem is with the fact that we eat by killing animals. Because if you look at the history, cancer, heart disease, and other degenerative diseases are an epidemic only in countries where meat eating is a big problem. If you look at the Eastern countries that are on a vegetarian diet, the Hindu and Buddhist countries where they're still faithful, these problems don't exist. They have other problems, yes, but they're not dying because of heart disease and cancer. They're dying because of other things, malnutrition, dirt, and so on. But look at the problem. Look at the situation that we've got ourselves into. We're in a huge war. Why? What's the purpose of it? Simply to preserve our sense gratification. Simply to preserve our standard of living. But what is our standard of living when it's all based on an industry of death? So this is the first thing. This is the first impurity we have to address. Well, you might say, well, Kṛṣṇa doesn't speak anything about vegetarianism in Bhagavad-gita. That's right. In Vedic society, 5,000 years ago, vegetarianism was such a given that Kṛṣṇa didn't think he even had to mention it. But actually, if we read closer, back in the 10th and 15th chapter, Kṛṣṇa talks about non-violence. So non-violence means we don't kill animals. And also Jesus Christ said, thou shalt not kill. Now, thou shalt not kill means anything, any species of life. Not simply that we should not kill human beings. We also shouldn't kill animals, especially if it's unnecessary. Now, if we're stranded outside in the woods somewhere and it's a matter of survival, then of course we can kill if we need to eat. But in our present situation, it's hardly a matter of survival. Let's face it, we kill and we eat animals just for the pleasure of our tongue and because it encourages us in our sense gratification. So because of this, we have to experience a karmic reaction. It's very simple and obvious, but because it's presented commercially with fine words and beautiful advertising and very seductive images, therefore everyone becomes ruled by their tongue, and they cannot make a rational decision about what is the right thing to eat. But Kṛṣṇa, he knows everything, and the law of karma is inexorable. So the pain and the anxiety that we cause these poor animals by killing them comes back to us in the form of heart disease, cancer, war, political struggles, all the insults and embarrassments that come from living in the material world. So this is the first impurity that we have to address, especially in our modern Western society, is that so many products are contaminated with the results of this killing industry, the meat industry. So now, anyone who is really sincere about progressive spiritual life has to take a good look at this problem, has to give up all these products based on meat. Because, for sure, unless we overcome this impurity, we will not be able to progress in spiritual life, and we will not be able to attain our perfect spiritual bodies. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of My Perfect Body. This is David Hughes, your host, reminding you to visit us on the web at esotericteaching.org, where you can purchase the complete Esoteric Teaching Introductory Seminar DVD and many CDs of transcendental music and mantras.